What is passwordless authentication? Passwordless authentication is an emerging technology that allows users to access resources without the need to remember a password. It relies on biometrics and other methods of identity verification such as fingerprints, face recognition, or voice recognition. This type of authentication provides a more secure way to access services since passwords can be forgotten, stolen, or guessed. With passwordless authentication, users can securely log in with just their biometric data or a single-use code sent by text message. This helps reduce the risk of phishing attacks and other forms of fraud because multiple layers of security are required in order for access to be granted. Additionally, it also increases user convenience since they no longer need to remember complicated passwords and can log in quickly with minimal hassle. How does passwordless authentication work? Passwordless authentication is a modern, secure way to access accounts without the need for a password. It uses technologies like biometrics, one-time codes, and push notifications to verify identity without having to remember a long string of characters. Another popular option is two-factor authentication, where users are sent a one-time code via email or text message that they must enter after their username to gain access. This adds an extra layer of security as the code changes each time it is used. What are the types of passwordless authentication? Passwordless authentication is a form of authentication that does not require the user to enter a password. This can be done through various methods such as biometric identification, one-time codes, or using physical tokens. Biometric identification uses physical characteristics such as fingerprints, voice recognition, or facial recognition to authenticate users. One-time codes are generated by an app and sent to the user's phone or email address in order to authenticate them. Physical tokens are tangible objects that are used in conjunction with a computer system, like a key fob or USB drive that contains credentials for access. Is passwordless authentication safe? Passwordless authentication is a great way to secure your accounts and protect your data. It eliminates the need for passwords and makes it easier to log in without having to remember complex passwords. This also reduces the risk of unauthorized access, as there is no password that can be stolen or guessed. Passwordless authentication uses methods such as biometrics, security tokens, one-time passwords, and other forms of multi-factor authentication to ensure that only authorized users can access the account. All these measures make passwordless authentication safe and secure. Why combine multi-factor authentication, MFA, and passwordless authentication? Multi-factor authentication, MFA, and passwordless authentication are two important security methods that can help protect individuals and organizations from unauthorized access to sensitive data. Combining them provides an extra layer of protection that can make it more difficult for malicious actors to gain access to an account. MFA requires a user to provide two or more pieces of evidence, such as a username and password, biometric information, or a one-time code sent via text message. Passwordless authentication eliminates the need for passwords altogether by utilizing biometric information or other forms of authentication such as facial recognition or voice recognition. What's the future of passwordless authentication look like? The future of passwordless authentication looks very promising as more and more companies are looking for ways to make the user experience more secure and convenient. With greater security comes increased trust, which can lead to increased sales and customer loyalty. As technology continues to evolve, so too will the methods used for passwordless authentication. We can expect biometric authentication technologies such as facial recognition, voice recognition, fingerprint scanning, and even iris scanning to become commonplace in the near future. Additionally, we can also anticipate an increase in cloud-based authentication options that require minimal effort from users. These advancements should help create a safer and more efficient way of logging into accounts without having to remember a complicated password or other sensitive information. Ultimately, these new technologies will not only enable businesses to provide a smoother and more secure user experience but also reduce their own liability when it comes to data breaches or other risks associated with traditional passwords. Frequently asked questions. How passwordless biometric authentication work? Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring the user to enter both a username/password combination and an additional code sent via text message or generated by an app on their device. Additionally, passwordless authentication does not require users to enter their credentials every time they need access, which makes it easier and faster for them to securely log in.